Hello and welcome. Let's embark on an engaging new lesson where the qualities of leadership harness the power of innovation to enhance their abilities. Our goal is to integrate creative thinking throughout various aspects of life, nurturing it as a natural attitude, not merely a procedure. We've carefully designed our courses to ensure that participants not only acquire a profound understanding of different innovation frameworks and tools but also develop the ability to apply them effectively and autonomously. This will allow them to think innovatively as naturally as a fish swims in water, without relying on external guidance or instruction when they pursue workplace innovation. And today's topic of discussion is motivating through leadership traits and design thinking principles.
Motivation actually refers to the driving force or reason behind a person's actions, behaviors, or decisions. It is the internal or external stimulus that propels individuals to pursue and achieve their goals, desires, or needs. Motivation can be influenced by a variety of factors, including personal aspirations, external rewards, internal satisfaction, and the perceived value of a particular outcome. Motivation plays a crucial role in shaping human behavior and can vary from person to person and situation to situation. It can be intrinsic, stemming from personal passion or a genuine interest in a task or goal, or extrinsic, driven by external factors such as financial rewards, recognition, or societal pressure. Taking an example of Neeraj Chopra, the world champion javelin thrower achieved 88.17 meters in World Athletics Championships 2023. Still, in interview he seemed achieving something more. This something is internal motivation, which probably is driving him to commit best every time and better than before. Reaching 90 meters probably is his intrinsic motivation. Dreaming for world championship was an external motivation.
All needs that trigger motivations are important. It's the need of time when one type of need based on Maslow's hierarchy may carry more priority than other. Let's take a hypothetical example of a student 1. Being at school, a student thinks of getting admission in best college, university to get best knowledge, and that's part of a physiological need. 2. After the student graduates from college, university, their need remains for getting a good job. It's a part of safety need. 3. Once after getting job, one may think for getting married, and this need belongs to love and belonging. 4. Dreaming for promotion is a esteem need. 5. Putting effort to become CEO at workplace is self-actualization.
A 3.5 minutes video on motivation by Daniel Pink. Daniel Pink is an American author. He has written 7 books, 5 of them are New York Times bestsellers. The YouTube link of the video is shared in the description.
Okay, I summarize till now what we discussed. Intrinsic motivation comes from within and its internal drive, while extrinsic motivation focuses on rewards or some other gain. The internal drive are self-driven and usually based on self-satisfaction and not depend on any gains from external.
Taking further steps, a process needs to be defined to prioritize motivations. A clear roadmap is crafted, guided by a set of motivations, ensuring focused steps and alignment with defined objectives. The defined process has 3 steps. 1. All sets of motivations. In this phase, the aim is to create a comprehensive list of motivations. During this phase, there are no limitations on generating the list, but it's crucial to maintain focus on the topic. 2. Prioritized motivations. In this phase, motivations undergo refinement and filtration using diverse design thinking tools, which we will delve into in the upcoming slides. 3. Validate prioritized motivations. In this phase, the ultimate selection of motivations is determined through the validation of those filtered in the prior step, employing a design thinking tool, which we will explore in upcoming slides.
We will use design thinking tools to address the prioritization of motivation. We will cover 4 design thinking tools to understand the prioritization of motivations. 1. Design principles. 2. 5 W and H questions. 3. 5 X Y questions. 4 A, B testing. Let us understand design principle.
The design principle tool operates within the design thinking framework, facilitating the comprehensive gathering of motivations and insights. When employing this tool, specific principles guide the process. Firstly, motivations must align with a designated topic to maintain focus, such as long-term plans. Secondly, it cultivates a culture of uninterrupted idea generation, prioritizing quantity over quality initially. After collecting motivations, a filtration process commences, utilizing frameworks like 5XY and 5W+H to delve deeper into motivations for a comprehensive understanding. Filtered motivations are then categorized into a pyramid structure, with top priority motivations at the apex, followed by moderate priorities, and finally, the less critical motivations at the base. This hierarchical arrangement concentrates efforts on the most pivotal motivations during problem solving within the design thinking process.
Let's now understand 5XY tool of design thinking. To understand the reason for being motivation from different dimensions. It's a way to find true cause of being motivation. One can stop asking questions if having all the answers and need not have to go for multiple numbers of whys. It helps in finding the latent cause or energy for the job to be driven. Questions can be like 1. Why the need is motivating? 2. Why the need or motivation is regarded as a driving force? 3. Why is the need or motivation important? 4. Why does need or motivation has at all impact? 5. Why has the output of the given task or job has a dependency on the need or motivation?
The 5W and H questions, much like the 5XY questions, serve as valuable tools within the design thinking methodology. They play a pivotal role in gaining a holistic understanding of motivations, helping uncover the underlying reasons and driving forces. These questions delve into different dimensions to explore motivations comprehensively. They shed light on aspects like 1. What motivations exist? 2. Who is impacted by them? 3. Why a particular need or motivation acts as a driving force? 4. When it is most crucial during the journey towards a goal? 5. Where along the journey it holds the most significance? And 6. How best to validate these motivations? By systematically examining motivations through these inquiries, design thinking practitioners can uncover deeper insights and uncover the emotional and abstract aspects associated with them.
Let's now understand A/B testing. A/B testing is a method for comparing two versions of a web page, app, or other digital content to determine which one performs better. It involves presenting two variants, A and B, to users and analyzing their response to identify which variant achieves the desired outcome, such as higher conversion rates or engagement. A/B testing aids in confirming the influence of motivation on outcomes, demonstrating the impact when it's present versus absent. It also verifies the significance of prioritized motivations within the journey's trajectory. It further helps in checking like 1. What is the time of delivery in the presence of motivation and not in the presence of motivation? 2. How the empathy is taken care in the presence of motivation and not in the presence of motivation? 3. What innovation is expected to add if motivation is present? 4. How end users are impacted if the work is done with motivation and without motivation?
Let's explore some examples to enhance our comprehension of these concepts. Before delving into the example, it's important to grasp that the framework and design thinking tools we discussed for prioritizing motivations should not be viewed as rigid rules, but rather as adaptable best practices. These can be customized to suit specific needs. For instance, it may not always be necessary to employ both the 5W+H questions framework and the 5W questions framework simultaneously. If one of these question frameworks effectively filters your motivations, there's no need to incorporate the other framework. Furthermore, the questions provided in the lessons and the example are merely illustrative and should be adjusted as per the specific requirements at hand. These questions serve as reference points and should be modified based on the situation's demands.
Taking an example of a computer science postgraduate student has found inspiration in two books that come highly recommended by universities. Following discussions with professors and senior students, it became apparent that Book 1 leans more toward research-oriented content, while Book 2 is geared more towards semester exams. In the process of determining his motivations, these two books are seen as equally appealing, but the student aims to make a choice between them. To make this decision, he decided to employ the 5W+H framework for prioritization.
In the application of the 5W+H framework, let's initiate our exploration by centering on the what dimension. To exemplify this, let's consider the question, what are the motivations, and apply it to both Book 1 and Book 2. For Book 1, it can be characterized as a research-oriented book. In the case of Book 2, it aligns with the description of an exam and semester-oriented book.
When employing the 5W+H framework, let's commence our investigation by focusing on the WHO aspect. To illustrate this, let's take the question, who is influenced by motivations, and apply it to both Book 1 and Book 2. Regarding Book 1, it pertains to researchers. In the context of Book 2, it pertains to postgraduate students.
When we employ the 5W+H framework, let's investigate by placing our focus on the why dimension. To illustrate this, let's ponder the question, why is the need or motivation seen as a driving force, and analyze this in the context of both Book 1 and Book 2. For Book 1, it is recognized for its emphasis on addressing various published papers. As for Book 2, it is acknowledged as a source from which, typically, semester questions are derived.
As we apply the 5W+H framework, let's direct our attention to the one dimension. To exemplify this, let's contemplate the question, when is the motivation most crucial during the journey to attain the goal, and assess this within the context of both Book 1 and Book 2. Concerning Book 1, it is recognized as pertinent, after completing postgraduate studies and during research work. In the case of Book 2, it is acknowledged as being valuable, during postgraduate studies and particularly beneficial for semester exams.
As we apply the 5W+H framework, let's shift our attention to the where dimension. To illustrate this, let's consider the question, where in the journey is motivation most essential to achieve the goal, and evaluate this within the context of both Book 1 and Book 2. Regarding Book 1, it is acknowledged as an inspirational source for researchers. In the case of Book 2, it is recognized as beneficial in the postgraduate journey, particularly during the semester, as it covers topics defined by the university.
When we employ the 5W+H framework, let's investigate by placing our focus on the how dimension. To illustrate this, let's ponder the question, how best the motivations can be validated, and analyze this in the context of both Book 1 and Book 2. For Book 1, it acknowledges as the book itself reduces the huge effort of researchers. It saves almost 3 months' time as it not only covers the topic horizontally, it also covers vertically. As for Book 2, it acknowledges as the book covers 85% of the university syllabus. The book is written in understandable language.
In summary, the student followed design principles and recorded all motivations related to books. He then collected data using the 5W+H questions framework by consulting with professors and senior peers. Ultimately, even though both books were considered high priority, he chose Book 2 for his upcoming semester.
We affirm that motivating teams through leadership traits and the application of design thinking principles represents a dynamic approach to nurturing innovation and teamwork. Leaders who exemplify qualities such as empathy, creativity, and collaboration can serve as catalysts, inspiring their teams to achieve extraordinary outcomes. By embracing design thinking principles, such as user-centered design and iterative problem-solving, organizations can remain agile in response to evolving challenges and needs. This harmonious integration of leadership traits and design thinking not only ignites motivation but also fosters a culture of continual enhancement and adaptability. Ultimately, it propels organizations towards success by driving innovation, enhancing productivity, and cultivating a motivated and empowered workforce.
In conclusion, it is pertinent to assert that instead of exclusively concentrating on creativity concerning the artwork and the artist, we can reframe our viewpoint to examine it within the framework of the cognitive processes employed by artists. These cognitive processes are what our organizations need, and they represent a fundamental facet of the creative journey shared by all individuals with creative inclinations. Creativity doesn't have to be an inborn talent. Rather, it constitutes an inherent cognitive capacity that we aim to tap into and guide within our organizations to nurture innovation at the organizational level.
Thanks. Kindly consider liking and subscribing to explore further about the creative thinking process. Let's stay connected and embark on a journey of learning together, contributing to a more improved and inspiring world.